Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
Yeah.
So what's up, everyone? Welcome to another
Oh,
episode of the Champions League. It's great being a champion sometimes out here in the streets. But but without further ado, I do want to jump right into a lot of the crazy shit that's been happening this week, whether it's the US dollar. We got to talk about that because China and Brazil said we're not using the US dollar anymore to trade. We have to talk about not only the Penn State head coach leaving, but also the assistant coach is going to Temple. And I want to talk about the ladder that there is within college football and college basketball, just in terms of how coaching is. But before we get into that, hey, Steven, how you been?
I've missed the last 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Last week was my birthday, so
Yep. Happy
I didn't.
birthday.
Yeah,
Belated.
appreciate it. The week before that, something was going on that I missed it for, but I forget why.
You
Nonetheless,
know.
things are good, man. Um, I'm doing Top Golf this Friday, um,
Mm,
for the first time ever, which surprises a lot of people that I have never done Top Golf before.
really?
Never, never. So a lot of people
So,
are surprised by that. Like everybody that I've said it to is very surprised by that. Um, so I'm very pumped about that. I'll text you offline about that, about who we're going with. Um,
okay.
so there's that. Um, Everything else is Gucci, man. Um, Mason starts baseball on Tuesday, like actual pitch baseball, like
Oh,
coaches.
wow.
And guess who got conned into being one of his coaches? Me. And it makes me very upset. Makes me very upset because I never wanted to coach either one of my kids. I don't
Hmm.
think Mia is going to do anything that would make me coach, because she doesn't like the competitive sports. She likes the individual sports. She really excels like at gymnastics. Um,
Hmm.
so she is probably going to stick with that. So I can cross her off. But Mason, he's going to do a lot of the competitive sports. So I don't want to coach him. My dad didn't coach me. He coached my sisters, did not coach me. And he said he enjoyed it way more. Um,
Hmm.
so he could like attend practices and like watch and hang out with all the dads and shoot the shit and whatever. Um, but I'll just get it out of the way now. And it's 4 to 6 year old baseball.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
so I took him out to the fields today, and just not fields, but like just like in our neighborhood. My boy can rake
What?
at 4. I don't know. He just got really good hand-eye coordination. I'll show you the videos. I'll send you the other one actually right now. But he can he just has the hand-eye coordination, and it's pretty impressive because I sucked at baseball when
Hmm.
I was younger. Like sucked. I don't know about you, but I was awful at baseball. Like I can hit a golf ball 300 yards. I can't hit a baseball 10 feet. Like I just my
That's
like
what's crazy. Yeah.
timing. I can't like I can throw. I was a pitcher in little league, but I can't hit to save my life. If you threw me 10 baseballs, maybe I could get two of them, maybe. But no. So I'm pumped about that. That's cool. Penn State spring practice is in full swing. Um, Blue White Weekend is 17 days away, so that's pretty cool. Going up for that. I still haven't drank this year yet. It's going on 3 months, which is dope. Lost 10 pounds, so that's
Wow.
hella dope. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So happy
Wow.
about that. Lakers are up by 11 right now, end of the first quarter. By the way,
They have to win.
playing the Bulls. Yeah. They have what like they have a 5 game road trip right now.
Hmm.
So that sucks. Bad timing on that. Um, but yeah, man, just working, grinding. You know how it goes. So that's what my
So I
next.
got some for you. I was going to save it to the end, but you brought up Top Golf. And
Right.
so a lot of people know that I do multiple different things. One of the things I do, my friend and like I help him run his sports academy that he has. So we took our staff out on Saturday to Top Golf. And so everyone in the picture is right-handed when it comes to golfing.
Okay.
Keep in mind, it's a bunch of black people going to Top Golf. So,
Okay.
so I'm left-handed. But in order for the picture to
Are you?
come out, yeah.
Huh.
So in order for the picture to come out correct, we all had to do it right-handed. Everyone else in the picture does it right-handed, and that's them being serious. This is me.
Dang,
So
bro.
you can critique.
Okay. Okay.
And that's not even one of the people. He tried to swing it with one hand because he's never hit a golf ball before.
Okay. So all y'all look like you suck at golf. There's not a single person in any of these 6 photos that I would say, yeah, that ball went straight. No, none of these people. Number one, I don't know what that is.
That's my friend's wife.
I don't know what that is. That's not golf though. Number 2, I get it. Like I appreciate it. But actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. This is number 1 for those that are gonna be watching. Like, I don't know what that is. That's not a swing. This is number 2. Like, I get it. Like, I appreciate the effort. Like, it looks decent, but no thanks. Number 3.
Look like a baseball bat.
It's It looks like that's where he's starting from. Not it doesn't look like he's already starting to swing. It looks like he's just like starting there and then gonna come down. Number 4, she's so far away from the ball. Like there's no way she's making contact with the ball. If the club keeps going on that trajectory, she's gonna miss it by about 3 feet. So her stance is too wide. I mean, there's your boy at number 5. Yeah, I mean, your feet are planted. You're coming through like you're good. You're fine. You're fine. That ball probably didn't go straight, but I'm guessing it went straight enough where you'd be happy if you were actually playing golf. And then number 6, it's a combo swing. Like he's got the baseball. Like this kid definitely played baseball, I think. He's got the leg kick going. Looks like Shawn Michaels about to do a Sweet Chin music though. His backswing is decent. If you just like cut off his lower body and look at the upper body, he looks good. But then you look at the lower body, it looks like he's maybe doing the stanky leg too. So, I mean, I hope you guys can like do competitions or anything like that because no one probably won anything.
So we did, and you could guess I won. And
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Yeah, and I did it left-handed, without glasses. So when I put glasses on, they were really surprised for that. But I was like, all right, let's see Steven's thoughts on their stances. Because believe it or not, the lady at the top, number 1, she's pregnant and she hit it the second farthest. So
that's just luck. That's just luck. That's just luck. One of the good things though, so I'm not like great at golf by any stretch, but I'm like above average. I'm in like the average to like above average range. Like I can hold my own against anybody probably. That I play with. So that's why I'm pumped because like we're going to do. It's not like we're going to do figure skating, because I can't skate at all.
Yeah.
But we're doing golf and like I'm good at golf. I can smack the shit out of the ball, like, so that's that's cool. Like I'm pumped that like I can go show off my golf skills.
Yeah,
because like not many things that you can go like you go out and do like you can show off.
No,
drinking,
and have fun.
Drinking is one of those
getting
things
like
you can go
stupid competitive.
Yeah, like bowling. I'm pretty good at bowling too, but it's not like we're like gonna go out with these couple and go shoot hoops or like go toss a football around or something.
Exactly.
That'd be pretty dope. I'd be down for that. But golf is one of those things where like, oh man, I can't wait to get up there, tee that thing up, and just bomb it, just hit bombs all day. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, everybody in those 6 photos struggled probably mightily. Are you good at golf?
So honestly, what's crazy is when you and I used to hang out more often, I used to randomly like go different
places.
Before
Christian got more homies.
Yeah, before I got more homies. And then before COVID hit, like Steven and I before COVID, it was like way more frequent than now. But I used to either like practice at different places, but then COVID hit. And I started just doing like random different things. I did more like finance stuff. I stopped doing athletic or minimally athletic stuff. And then that's how I became so good at Nerf basketball. I guess. Who knows?
All right. Don't even do that.
But I want to swing it back so we can get into the sports section in a little bit. But I do want to talk about the crypto and finance stuff. The first thing I want to bring up, and it's something that Steve and I both know, one, being in America, is China and Brazil have said that they're going to stop using the US dollar for the exchange medium of currency, and they're going to use another one. And a lot of different people in the financial world have started to talk about that, because the importance of that is, if they're not using the US dollar, that's then going to lower the demand for how many people want to use the US dollar, which is why our dollar is so strong. One of the other strongest currencies is the Singaporean currency. Reason why, they do a lot of like importing and exporting. And I learned about a lot of this in my foreign finance class, one of those international finance class I did. And they just explained to you that if you do more exporting than importing, and if you do more importing and exporting with various different countries, certain currencies are used. So it's something that's important, because we also saw that SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, went under, Credit Suisse went under, and they're saying that this is only just the beginning. Then you have the US dollar. So a lot more stuff is going to happen. And nobody in the world wants to bring up the R word that is right now, and that is a recession. And everyone out there will just say, oh, no, it's not. Oh, it might be mild. Oh, it's probably like 49.51. There's no 49.51. Like, that's not what it is. It is a recession. And they're not going to say any of this until after the fact we get out of all of this. And a lot of people are saying that all of this started, the exposing of everything started because of something in cryptocurrency, when Scott Bankman-Fried with SBF, who is better known for owning FTX, when that shit went under. Because when that went under, then a lot of other things became exposed. If you all don't know who that is, just think of the FTX arena. Who was that? That was Miami Heat's arena. But all of this is just in a circle, and things become exposed. And they say the reason why all this is happening is because of COVID. We had this extreme like inflation that hit. Like, everyone was getting cashed out with like stimulus checks, bailouts, everything. Money was just going dumb everywhere. But you have to bring it back. And that's what the Fed started to do with increasing interest rates. You guys are probably happy because your savings accounts probably say over 3.2% and stuff. Yeah, that sounds cool. But the reason why it's up so high is because they're increasing the interest rates. So that's why your insurance is going up. That's why your savings accounts are going up, because it's costing more to borrow the money. Mortgage rates are going up. Everything is going up. But what are your thoughts? And especially with you having kids, what are your thoughts with everything starting to increase, but then your impact from an outside view looking in on what it can mean when two of the other strong countries that are out there are not necessarily going to use the US dollar for trading?
So it sucks because, like, if you have kids, you have to, like, you just got, overall you're conscious of what you're spending, like grocery wise. Like, we carpool a lot, so gas. We got to start saving more for college. But like, how much do we want to take out? Because how much we taking out already of paychecks to put in our 401k. And so now my wife is Brooke's deciding if she wants to resign from the schools or not and just go with a private practice. But like, there's so we're switching from her insurance to my insurance. So we're trying to figure that out. Cost of that is probably gonna go up. So like, and that's just like how life goes. And then the cost of living in my area, and sure the same thing is where you at, is going up. So it's like, job wise, it's like, you ask if there's a potential for a raise. And so but definitely, like, we're not paycheck to paycheck by any stretch of the imagination, but we're not like, I don't know what financially stable means. Like, our goal
changes every year,
right? Our goal, like, was, I mean, in college, if you had a meal plan, you were financially stable. But it's like, we don't have that in real life.
Yeah.
But it's like, shit, what was I going to say? Where was I going? Talking about meal plans now.
I know the kids don't have meal plans.
No, yeah, they do, but they're like our meal plans.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, you just gotta, like, say something. I'm losing my train of thought real quick. I was gonna say something important. We were talking about meal plans.
So the importance, and I like where you were going with that, and I like to hear from people with families, because a lot of my friends, they're preparing to have kids, but you have kids, so it's a very different impact.
I got it. So what I was gonna say was, we had a plan to be like, so we got married at 23, kids at 25, 27, and so on and so forth. And my wife had her job secure, so I'm trying to find mine. And like, then, it took a while, but over the last couple of years, it's been stable, which is great. Not a lot of people can say that. Our
Mm-hmm.
goal after having kids was to start trying to be financially stable by the time we got to 30. And, you know, we're in a good spot, but like, it's almost like never enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, and the housing prices. I mean, we talk about that countless times. Housing prices in our neighborhood are just, I'm sure they're the same where you are. And this,
Mm-hmm.
like, the whole DMV area is like that. And, the certain counties. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, I don't know. You got to just, you want to like go on vacations. You want to spend your money and like buy nice things. But it's like, you just never know when that like next thing is just going to hit. And you're just like, fuck, we spent all that
Mm-hmm.
money on God knows what, and now we are trying to like come up with Plan B or do all those things. And COVID was like that for a while, but I think COVID made a lot of people, not a lot of people, but it made people become financially like literate and understand how things really work and like how money actually works, like not just in the US, but around the world and how the US dollar is. So I think people are now getting back into that because there was like, I don't, COVID's obviously not gone, but like it's obviously not what it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So people are starting to like kind of forget about the financial aspect of life and they're like going out, but now things are going back to a crazy place. So people are trying to figure that out and balance out their life and everything. So yeah, finances with kids, like, I mean, obviously you have to worry about yourself, but like,
Mm-hmm.
not bragging that I have kids, but like it's just like a different animal. And I'm so
Yeah.
thankful that my wife is smart when it comes to finances. Because if I was in charge of it, we'd probably be broke.
He says it
Like,
all the time.
yeah. Also, really quick, the Bucks are beating the Pacers. There's a minute left in the third. They're up 113 to 98. Giannis is 31, 14, and 11.
Triple
Um,
already.
Drew Holiday has 45 with a minute left in the third. He's 17 of 24, 3 of 5 from three, and 8 of 10 from the line. 30, he's 45 points, 7 assists, 6 boards. And now the Lakers are losing by one.
You realize, I doubt it'll happen, but they both can have a triple double in this game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
Lakers are down one, 37 to 36. They are being outscored in the second quarter, 17 to 5.
dang,
God
that's
damn.
why.
Bum ass Lakers, dude.
Do you realize
Bum.
Zach LaVine has 0 points?
Bro, no other starter has DeMar DeRozan has 7 points. Vucevic has 15.
Yeah.
And no one on the Lakers has double figures.
Nope.
Everyone scored starter wise, but no one's got double figures. And
Nope.
oh god, bum ass Lakers. Anyway,
So I'm gonna fly through the rest of the finance and crypto stuff really fast, but it's some things I need to bring up. The first thing is, so for everyone out there that follows, I talk about DGOTs and Utes a lot. Utes just bridged from Solana over to Polygon. So that was a big thing. They didn't know how many of the different NFTs would end up bridging over, but 10,000 of the 17,000 bridged over within the first day. So congrats to them. For everyone out there that doesn't understand what any of that means, that's essentially like me going to school at Old Dominion where I went, and then I decide, all right, you know what? Everything that I own and stuff, we're going to bring all of that to Penn State. But every one of my friends, if you want to continue to be part of my business, you have to switch over to Penn State within a day. It's essentially the same thing of what they have to do. Just think of coding language. So you go from one club and one school and everything's there, and you're moving over to another. The other crazy part about that is Frank has a second collection, well, the first
Frank.
collection, DGODs, and DGODs is moving from Solana over to Ethereum, which is major for them to end up doing. And I'm super excited. For anyone that even follows me or knows anything about me knows that I talk about DGODs all the time, joke around with everybody. When half the people say, oh, where's your savings? I'm like, I don't know, just talk to Frank, like whatever it is, that's what it's going to be. So, and those are different things like I can do compared to what Steven can do. I remember when I was talking to the different guys that were over there, you could just see the different ways that I can think compared to how they can think. They have to think about Jill, Janet, and Jeffrey. I just have to think about Christian, Hayes, and DGODs. Like that's all I got to do. So that's just one of the things I wanted to bring up. The other thing is, so someone that I had on the show back in February, they were with Brozos. And Brozo's at the time maybe had 4 or 5 thousand followers. They currently have 32,000. I brought this up before, and they just sold out their collection on Polygon. And wild thing is, I shouted them out, and I was like,
Oh.
"Yo, like, congrats! Like, I'm super happy for you." All I heard was crickets. But back in the day, when ain't nobody know who they were like, "Oh, I bet this is perfect." But it's only love. I ended up buying one of their NFTs as well. So that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. The final thing is just continue to look at various different stocks. This year is not going to be an exciting year. It's going to be an up and down year, and we're probably only going to go up like 3 to 4%, if anything. It's not going to be much that this year is going to increase. And a lot of the gains you have, they'll be gone. Again, one of the people I like to talk to and like follow on social media is Deep, and he said just pay attention for May, because in May a lot of the prices are going to drop again. And we say that because people are getting like their tax returns and stuff, so they're going to be spending it and things of that nature. But then the summer comes, you're going to end up focusing on different things like the vacations, the beaches, all that stuff. So you're not going to be as much into stocks and crypto and stuff. Then the end of the year is when things are going to pop back off because everyone gets like the end of the year checks, bonuses, holiday time. That's kind of how it is. So pay attention to those different ebbs and flows throughout everything. So that's really the main things I wanted to talk about over there. Just check out the different channels that we have on social media to figure out what NFTs I've been buying and selling. I did do a lot of shopping. I was joking with one of my friends' wives because they said that they went to Macy's to go shop, and I was like, "Oh shit, I went shopping too." And I showed them all my NFTs. It essentially was the same amount. I just didn't have to move from my desk to end up buying it, whereas they went to like Bethesda to end up buying their shit. And I probably spent a little more because I spent around like $1,500 to $2,000, whereas they had to walk around and do all their stuff. And I end up making money off of the shopping I did. They lost money, but nonetheless, that's what I wanted to end up bringing over there. I want to now go into some, I guess I would say, rather interesting and exciting things to talk about. And the first thing is the NCAA tournament. So with the men's, there's only one bracket that predicted all 4 teams that are currently in the NCAA tournament Final Four. What are your thoughts on the NCAA and the Final Four, and where do you think it's going to go for the championship game?
It is very surprising. I think UConn was the only team that I heard that could make a run that wasn't like a top 3 seed.
They were ranked
They were
one
they,
or
they were number
two
one
at
in the
one point.
country.
Yeah.
At one, like very, very, very early. They beat
Yeah.
Alabama when I think Bama was top 5. Jim Larinaga, he's looked the same age for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Obviously college basketball fans remember when he had the run against with George Mason, made to the Elite 8, I think it was.
Final Four.
Final Four. Yeah, shout out to them.
Only school
Atlanta.
I can rep.
Huh?
Only school I can rep.
There you go. Oh yeah, thanks. Florida Atlantic versus San Diego State. What a weird game.
Nobody
What a
would have guessed
weird
it.
game.
Yeah.
But then you got Miami. Like it's just weird. It's also weird just to see like the team names. It's just like a sports fan knowing that these are not basketball powerhouses outside of UConn. UConn's a blue blood, right? They have 4 national titles since '99, I think, right? 5?
That's crazy.
4 or 5. Which is like impressive. Like that's like they that's very impressive by them. But it's just like you look at the school names and it's like the NCAA men's Final Four. 4, yeah. So they can go for number 5. Florida Atlantic. San Diego.
They have some dudes on the team.
They do, yeah. But all these teams have dudes. I mean, they have to have dudes. San Diego State, the fighting Kawhi Leonards. Miami, the fighting Jimmy Grahams. Florida Atlantic. Can't name anyone who went to Florida Atlantic. UConn, Emeka Okafor, Ben Gordon, Rip Hamilton, all those dudes. Ray Allen. Kemba, yeah. So Hashim Thabit, right?
Yeah.
UConn. Yeah. What a name. So yeah, it's weird. But yeah, what a name, right? Hashim Thabit. I had high hopes for him.
I know. I did too. He played for Memphis.
Man,
nice in 2K.
Yeah, I bet he was. But yeah, it's weird. I'm gonna go for Miami. I mean, for UConn. I was pulling for Miami against Texas because I have a friend that went to Texas, so wanted that to happen. And then I'll probably say Florida Atlantic because they just got some dudes. And like
Yeah.
at this point, it's like, I, I don't want to say what do you got to lose, but like you might as well just go ball out more than you've been doing. So, I'll go UConn and Florida Atlantic in the national title game. What a
So
weird, like what a weird thing to say.
the first thing I really do have to bring up is all of these. This is what I love about sports, and then we're gonna segue this into the talk I wanted to have about coaches. But all these coaches are going to get a check if they
Yep.
already did not get their check. Like Dusty May, man's about to get paid. I don't know where it's gonna come from, but he's about to get a paycheck. He like I saw the amount he was making. It wasn't even 7 figures. It was probably still like high 6 figures. And I'm like, he's going to get a check. Jim Larinaga, if he doesn't want a check, one of his assistants are going to get a check. The UConn head basketball coach, it's crazy because I remember when Kevin
Ollie.
Oliver Ollie? Huh?
Kevin Ollie. Yeah.
Yeah, when he was there and they were like, all right, we got to scrap this shit. Like,
yeah, he won a national title.
I know. And it was like, yeah, but some shit must have happened with him because they said, yeah, let's scrap this shit.
Yeah, he
but
fell
like
hard.
Dan Hurley's there now.
Yeah.
And then you have San Diego State. San Diego State is the only thing that is allowing the West Coast to think that this tournament is exciting. You have 2 Florida teams.
Mm-hmm.
You have a New England team.
And who's like, yeah, I would say like the most East you could possibly be.
Yes. There's no in between, but yet the championship. Can you imagine what these people had to do for time zones? Ain't nobody in that time zone. But yeah, you had to go to H-Town. So that's kind of the crazy thing when y'all are going all over the place for these championships and tournaments, but yet ain't nobody from there. Like,
nope.
So, and then you have Brian Dutcher. So, mad credit to all of them. You saw what happened to Texas's interim coach. They signed him to a deal.
He got paid, obviously.
Got paid, yeah, which he deserves it, especially with everything that went on. But I'm like, yo, Beard want to go and get a deal with Ole Miss. It really doesn't matter. Then the other part, and I'm gonna use this as a segue, perfect segue to bringing into Shrewsbury. But then Steven brought it up on the show saying that because he predicted Iona was going to end up winning their game. They didn't. But what happened was Rick Pitino ended up getting a new job, and then Rick Pitino left. Then it was who was the coach that's now at Iona? Because it was a
Fairleigh Dickinson. Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, Fairleigh Dickinson's coach.
Dude, everybody knew he was not gonna be there. Like the moment they lost, I'm pretty sure he went and put on that Iona shirt right after the press conference, and he's like, "All right, deuces."
Yep. Rick Pitino went to St. John's. Fairleigh Dickinson's coach went to Iona, and then same thing, Georgetown. So Providence's coach went to Georgetown. Then George Mason's coach, shout out, is now at Providence. And same thing. And I'm gonna use this as a segue because Shrewsbury went to Notre Dame, and then VCU's coach, which Stephen brought this up, and they didn't even say it a lot of places before he had mentioned it to me. But Coach Beer is now going to be going to VCU, and it just shows you how this goes. It's levels to all of this shit, because even look at Shaka Smart. This man was at VCU, and then he went to Texas, then he went to Marquette, and also with this, and you can bring this up when you start talking, they were saying, was it a smart or dumb decision for Coach Beer to end up leaving VCU because he left a strong team to end up going there, but on the other side, he's going to get paid way more than he would have got paid at VCU. But I want your thoughts on everything with Shrewsbury, your assistant coach, and then also what it is for the new coach that's going to be there.
Yeah. All right. So I put out a quick slants thing last week about Micah Shrewsbury. So a lot of Penn State fans were pissed. I think because they thought it was a stab in the back by Shrewsbury after leaving after 2 seasons. And then they were pissed at the athletic director for not keeping him and not giving him what he so rightfully deserves after taking Penn State basketball to the NCAA tournament and winning a game. It helped that we had one of the best players in the country. Shout out to Jalen Pickett. It helped that we hit the transfer portal really hard, got 3-point shooting. We had a ton of seniors. We have, I'll get to this in a second. But Micah Shrewsbury is from Indiana. He born in Indy, went to high school there, went to college in Indiana. South Bend is 2 hours from where he grew up at. So his family's there. And if anybody knows Indiana, it is basketball through and through. No,
Yep.
I know the Colts are good. You know, who gives a shit? It's basketball. It's like growing up in Alabama. It's all football. Indiana, it's like Texas. Like, so Penn State was, once Notre Dame came calling, like Georgetown, his name was up for that. I don't know how deep that was. We could have kept him from Georgetown. We're not going to keep him from Notre Dame. It's home. It's like if James Franklin's a Pennsylvania guy, so he understands that Pennsylvania is football. And Michael Shrewsbury understands that, and he knew what he was up against. But it's like if James Franklin was from Texas, and I said this when I did the quick slants, if James Franklin was from Texas, and while he was at Penn State, the Longhorns came calling, and he went back home to go coach the Longhorns, I couldn't be mad at that. And I love saying this in the words of Dabo Sweeney. It's not like Shrewsbury left us for East Aboga Community College. Like he went home to Indiana to coach. If anybody knows Indiana basketball or knows the Midwest, it's Shrewsbury. His coaching resume before he came to Penn State is stellar. Before he was at Penn State, he was an assistant. He was the top assistant at Purdue. Before that, he was with the Celtics for 6 years with Brad Stevens as an assistant coach, and all the players that he was with, all the players, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, rave about him. Shrewsbury is a genius offensive guy. Genius. He's going to be an NBA coach one day. Well after he's done with Indiana with Notre Dame, but he's going to end up in the pros. Is my thing. He was a Butler assistant with Brad Stevens when they made their back-to-back Final Four runs or national title game runs. He was on that team. So he's like, you know, a lot of stops in Indiana. He's born there, raised there, everything. So this was a no-brainer for him. Indiana offered, or Purdue, I keep messing this up. Notre Dame offered him a 7-year deal, $4 million a year. Like Penn State matched it, but like you can't compete with that. And it's not like Notre Dame is a shit school. It's one of the most prominent schools, not just basketball, but just like in the country. Everybody knows the two words Notre Dame. So like no brainer for him. So good for him. I have no ill feelings towards Michael Shrewsbury at all. He's like, I appreciate like it was fun. Like when your school is good at basketball, when you can go from like late August to like April, end of March, beginning of April, from football season to basketball season, and be good for like those two stretches, that's fucking awesome. Like that is a cool feeling. I wish it was consistent, like, but who knows with Penn State basketball, but like, you know, nonetheless, it was awesome. The last month of the season was awesome. Great time. Fantastic. So shout out to Michael Shrewsbury. So our new coach is Mike Rhodes. He was at VCU. So now he's a Pennsylvania guy. He coached at VCU, so he's got some ties to the DMV now with the recruiting areas and whatnot.
Which is big for them.
Which is huge. So that's cool. Pennsylvania guy, went to Mount Lebanon. So he's from like the Philly side of the state. Not, you know, probably a couple hours west of Philly, but still like that side of the state is all basketball. Pennsylvania is not a basketball state. Like certain parts are, but it's more football than anything. But like to get a Pennsylvania guy, it's like when we got James Franklin, Pennsylvania guy, he understands it, understood Penn State football. You know, he knows. It's not like Rhodes doesn't know where Penn State basketball is. It's a below average program, below average in the Big Ten across the board. So, you know, the NIL stuff needs to get going with Penn State basketball. That's a whole other topic. So, you know, I'm pumped. Penn State fans should be happy with it. He also hired a former Penn State great, Joe Crispin, which Penn State fans will know who that is. He was on the Sweet 16 team that beat North Carolina and Julius Peppers back in 2001, which was the last time we won a tournament game. So shout out to Joe Crispin. That's pretty cool. So they gave Mike Rhodes a 7-year deal, and they basically gave him the same deal.
$3 million.
Yeah, they gave him basically the same deal that they were going to give Michael Shrewsbury. Like literally, crossed out Michael Shrewsbury and wrote Mike Rhodes on it. So they gave him literally the same contract. So like you're telling your fan base, look, we're in this for the long haul now with Penn State basketball. Now that we know what it's going to take, and the new AD Pat Kraft, all the fans were pissed at him that like he didn't keep him and that it was his fault. It was a failure. Those fans are idiots. Like complete morons. They have no idea what they're talking about at all. Like we were never going to keep Michael Shrewsbury. Once Notre Dame came calling, like you're not going to, he would have been stupid to pass up going back home to coach Notre Dame, where all his family is and everything. So like that was not going to happen. So this is not on the current administration. Penn State fans are just ridiculous. Like really, they were really pissing me off for like a 3-day stretch, and I was getting bombarded on Twitter by it. First time in a long time I've been bombarded on Twitter by Penn State fans. It's been a lot. Usually it's in the fall, but um, so I had, I clapped back at them obviously, and I posted some things, and I they made me go. They made me record a podcast last week. They made me do it. Penn State
Dude,
fans pushed me over the edge, and they made me record a podcast, and I did it.
it came
And
out
I
of
just
nowhere.
bitched at them the whole time. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. I think Penn State fans should be very happy with it. We have 3 scholarship players left on the team. 3. We lost, I think, 6 seniors, and we've lost 3 guys already to the transfer portal, and we've lost 2 commits for next year. So we have nothing. So we're gonna. I'm guessing he'll bring in some guys from VCU. It happens every time. And we're gonna dive headfirst in the transfer portal. Shout out Caleb Love if you're listening. Come from Chapel Hill up to State College. Jameer Nelson Jr. He's from Delaware. From this like that part of like the region. So this Mike Rhodes is from that region as well. So we're gonna dive headfirst in the transfer portal. Hopefully, get some guys to transfer, and hopefully, guys that stay at Penn State. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like my expectations for Penn State basketball are minimal, like minimal, not in the same stratosphere as Penn State football, obviously, very minimal. So like my expectations for next season, we're not even we're gonna be off the bubble before the bubble is even there. Like we're not even gonna the NIT is not even gonna happen either next year. CBI maybe, but it's gonna be a struggle to get back to the tournament next year. So, but I'm pumped. Like the future looks bright for Penn State basketball. We're doing the right things. We're saying the right things. We're putting the money where it needs to go. NIL needs to get going a little more, but that'll come with time. So, yeah, I'm excited. So Penn State fans should be too, and stop bitching.
So one thing I want to say, because I brought up Shaka Smart before, and they always talk about coaches that have like a coaching tree. Shaka Smart's developing a coaching tree, and I didn't even realize it. So under him, different assistants he had was Mike Rhodes, who now is at Penn State. He had Will Wade, who's at McNeese State. Wow. He had Mike Morrell, who's at UNC Asheville. He had Jeremy Ballard, who's at Florida International University. Mike Jones, who at University of Carolina Greensville. A.T. Turner is at University of Texas Arlington. Luke Yaklick, who's at UIC, University of Illinois Chicago. Darren Horn, NKU, and Dwight Perry, Wofford. So he's helping people get checks.
He's only 45. He's young.
I know.
I like him better without the hair, though.
Yeah,
no doubt. He looks like him and James Franklin had the same thing going on, and then James Franklin just went for it. But Shaka, it looks like a wig. It doesn't look real.
It does. And I wanted to actually give props to Steven. So something we don't talk about on these shows are like the Waney rules, the Rooney rules, and
what you call them?
And then
the Waney rules.
The Waney. I was thinking of
Wayne Rooney.
Yeah. So the Rooney rules, and then also like a lot of diversity things, because all of Steven's teams he likes have black coaches.
Yeah, facts, bro. Facts. Let's go.
Penn State football. Right, Penn State basketball.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
And I'm just like, you can't ever say anything about it when that's the case.
The Pistons, Dwayne Casey.
Yep, exactly.
Carolina basketball, Hubert Davis. The Lakers, following LeBron. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Wait, so you do know Mike Rhodes is white, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. You're talking about Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've seen Rhodes a hell of a lot of times because my brother went there.
True. Facts. Yeah. I was gonna say, okay. Yeah. That's kind of good point.
Exactly. And
I'm a very diverse person myself, as we all know.
Oh, clearly. But that's kind of like one of those big things. And it's not even something that Steven's saying, you know what, I want to like this team because they have a black coach. It just legit happened. Like every single one. And that kind of how it is. And we
I'm
don't
a man
have
of
to
the
go
people.
into how he is. We don't even need to talk about how he likes the Detroit Pistons. We've done that enough times.
Yeah.
But I want to do another surprise. So everyone knows that I have like various different season tickets. Can you guess which AFC South team I end up buying season tickets for?
Jags.
Did I say this already?
No.
Oh, yeah. So I did the Jacksonville Jags. I was going to do the Kansas City Chiefs, But did I tell you how much those were going to cost?
Hella much, but no, you didn't.
So they end up saying, "Oh, it's only going to be around like 3,000-4,000 per ticket for like lower level." I was like, "All right, bet that's perfect." I end up going online to end up purchasing them for 2 tickets. Them shits were going to be $10,600, and I said, "I do not love Patrick Mahomes that much. Like
Yikes.
I could watch him on TV." So I end
Yikes.
up just going with like the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Chargers, and I'm still on the fence about the Ravens. I really have to see. Some people
Oof.
like, even if Lamar's not there, are you going to end up getting him? If they do some which way, shape, or form, can trade him and they get a top 3 pick, yes.
Yo,
As if they get one of those quarterbacks.
he's fucked.
They,
In my mind. He's I
yeah,
think yo, I think he's done.
they
Done.
put him in a horrible situation. And I was talking when we were over at yours, part of it is the whole agent factor too. Then the other part is they do not want these Deshaun Watson type deals to happen. If you keep talking about this Deshaun Watson shit, they're like, watch what we can end up screwing your bags up. They were like, ignore the Cleveland Browns because we all know they're a stupid franchise. Because you also have to think Hurts is behind him, Burrow is behind him, Herbert's behind him. You're telling me you want to set a precedent of fully guaranteed? Hell no. Like, it's not really, they don't want to say, oh, it's the money. So they keep saying, like, we're worried about the injuries and stuff. It's not the injuries. Because I
No.
promise you, they would have never gave Samuel Bradford all that goddamn money back in the
No.
day if it was about about the money, about the
Jeez.
injuries. It's a lot of it is the money and what they're doing. Yes, he gets injured, but Kyler Murray got injured too after the fact. Like, injuries are going to happen at the quarterback position,
Mhm.
but you can't come out and say that because then that's when it goes into like the whole collusion thing. But it's wild as shit how all these different owners said, you know what, we out. Like, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're out. So
I don't know, man. I think it just it does I it just doesn't look good for Lamar.
no.
Like, and then the whole injury thing, like, no one knows how serious it was. I mean, was he playing because was he playing and or not playing because of the contract or because of the injury? There were so many things going on with that. You just had no idea. He had no idea what to believe or not. And then I mean, the Ravens offered him a really good deal, like a really good deal, and he was like no. But so I mean, like, if you look at the other quarterbacks, and I think we talked about this before, like the agents are the ones who get the money you deserve, who get the
Yeah.
money that you want. And they structure like that is literally what they do. They structure the contract so you get paid like, so it works out for the team so you can sign other players and you get paid, a lot up front, but then maybe you're gonna backload it with that's what Russell Wilson did in the beginning with the Seahawks, so they can keep the Legion of Boom. Obviously things
Mm-hmm.
fell apart for other reasons, but nonetheless, that was part of the contract. And like Mahomes, same way. Like you got to be able to like keep guys like Travis Kelce. You got to be able to keep guys, like Mark Andrews and like sign a receiver. And by the way, the Ravens, we've said it before, also have not helped them whatsoever
No, hell
getting
no.
receivers.
Nelson
So
Aguilar, what the hell is he gonna do?
yeah, you can't, and then it sucks. You can't predict that J.K. Dobbins is going to have this going on with injuries and whatnot. So that's a huge downfall. But like I said before, like I could have seen this coming because like I wouldn't pay Lamar Jackson. Like I've said it for so long for over the year now. I just wouldn't pay him because like he hasn't done in the playoffs. He's been injured. Like he's representing himself. That's just not a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know you think it's smart, but like it's not. That's why you have an agent to literally do what they are like what their profession is to do, to get you these contracts, to get you the money, to figure out with the team, work it. And like is there a Gmail thread going on with like Lamar and like Bashemi, whatever his name is, like Biscotti, like whatever. Like it doesn't look good for anybody. It's not a good look for Lamar. It's not a good look for the Ravens. It's not. I don't know. Someone's gonna trade a first round pick for him, multiple first round picks. Like, duh, some stupid team's gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like pick your poison. If you're like the Panthers or something like that, do you risk trading your number one or number two pick for Lamar Jackson, or do you go with a rookie quarterback? It's literally
I
like the
know.
same. It's the same kind of toss up. You don't know what you're gonna get from Lamar Jackson, not even just game to game, but like play to play. Like he might
Yeah.
bust off an 80-yard run one play. and then throw a completely wrong route and it's a pick six, or he's running around and fumbles it. So like you never know where you can get. But same thing goes for, I know you can say that for every quarterback, but in this scenario, you can say the same thing about a rookie quarterback. I mean, who knows what you're gonna get from CJ Stroud or Bryce Young? Could be the same shit. They could go full Joe Burrow or Justin Fields mode and just dominate, or they could
Yeah.
suck. So like you run the risk on both sides. So not a good look for Lamar. Not a good look. But someone's gonna trade multiple first round picks, a couple seconds probably, and like a 6th round pick for him. We know it's gonna happen. Happens every time.
Yeah.
Happens every time.
The biggest thing is the money wise. And like I told everybody, I'm not going to think about my season tickets until after the NFL draft. Everything's going to happen by the NFL draft. Aaron Rodgers, we're going to know what's going to happen with him probably around that time.
You think Lamar's going to get traded before then?
They would be so stupid
less than
if
a month,
the Ravens,
right? Less than a month away?
Yeah, it's April. Of course, we'll cover the draft as we always do, but they have to do something then, because if they wait till after, so then you're worried about 2024 first round picks. You have to do something now, or maybe day of.
It's a month away.
Anything. So yeah. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Last thing I wanted to do was just spend the final amount of time. So we asked questions at work, and then the recent question we asked was, have I ever asked what job is the one job you would hate to ever have?
Yes.
Okay. So the next one we did
I said that people who clean out porta potties.
Exactly. And then the next one we did was, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh man. I don't know. What would you pick? I got to think about that for a second.
I'm very simplistic, and I would just say to be able to speak every language there is in the world. Some people said
simplistic. Are you kidding me, bro? No one would say that. That's not a superpower. People can do that. Like people can do that now without superpowers. What? Like people can do that.
That is supernatural for them to be able to do. And I said that because someone said, I would want to be invisible, but then what do you need to be invisible for as a grown-ass adult? You need invisibility as a kid when you're trying to sneak out the house. You don't need invisibility as an adult. Then someone else said the power to be able to fly. And they say, that's cool and all for a little bit, but won't flying get annoying when nobody else can do it?
I think I would have always said flying, but man, that is, I would say because I have kids, the ability to not get sick or hurt. Like to not just be healthy 24/7, 365, and like not have to worry about my kids coming home with a cold and giving it to me within a couple days. Flying would be pretty dope though. Like if I could just walk outside, just like put my arm up in the air and fly away, and I could be like inside college in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, no traffic.
Sign me up. No traffic. Yeah, yeah. If I can just go up and away and just like take off, dude, I'd be good. I'd be straight.
Oh shoot. But no, I'm glad that you end up bringing that up, because the other thing is we're so conditioned in life to think, all right, if we put our hand up, that's how we're going to fly. If we do this, this is going to give us spider webs. And I'm like, so what if some random ass person said, all right, if I do a backflip, that's how I fly. That'd be like the new thing that people end up trying.
I do it.
But what you got for the people?
Shout out to I want to give a shout out to Shohei Ohtani. And I told you this yesterday. He's 28, and that is just so disappointing that I don't know how I didn't know that, because it feels like he's only been in the league for like a couple of seasons, but he's been in the league for 5 seasons now. This will be his 6th, and now he's like, as they say, entering his prime, which I'm hoping that I just, as a sports fan, you always hope that, like, it's like when someone scores 16 points in the first quarter, you're like, you better do that the rest of the game and drop like a 60 piece
or a 50 like Drew Holiday.
Yeah, and Drew, has he got 50?
51.
Damn, good for him. Yeah, Giannis is 38, 17, and 12.
Giannis is a stupid triple-double. I know.
What? 51.
Brook Lopez about to have 20.
What is going on? What's happening in this game?
But the other team doesn't have anybody right now. There's no Halliburton. There is no Miles Turner. There's no.
No, they have nobody. These are made-up players. These are creative players. This is a creative team that the Pacers have right now. I can't name any. I can't pronounce 3 of these names. I can't do it.
I only know one person on that team right now. That's in the starting lineup.
I have no. I'm not even gonna try. Damn, these are crazy stat lines um for the Bucks. 38, 17, and 12 for Giannis. And 32 minutes. Woof. Drew Holiday's 51 points in 31 minutes. How's that
That's
possible?
I don't
That's the
know.
most efficient thing I've ever seen in my life.
He is plus 28.
That's crazy.
He only made three threes.
That's wild. I can't wait to watch this. But yeah, shout out to Shohei Ohtani. There's a clip out there, and I appreciate this type of thing in sports. Um, After the World Baseball Classic, which by the way, that final at bat between Ohtani and Trout was
That was dope.
awesome. Great
Yeah.
TV. Great TV. When Ohtani threw the like perfect pitches, the fastballs, the home run our fastballs right down the middle, like unbelievable. And then that slider he threw to strike him out, pure gold. After the game, Pedro Martinez, Ohtani was making his rounds. I think he went to the ESPN set, then went to the MLB Network set with those guys or Fox, whoever it was. But I think Martinez is on baseball or MLB TV.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped there and Harold Reynolds was talking to him and saying, we appreciate you and everything. And Pedro Martinez said the same thing, and he was just going on and on, but we appreciate the former players and the people who know baseball. We appreciate you, how you prepare, how you play, your presence and everything. He's like, you are a special human being. You are the face of baseball. You are what everybody's been waiting for 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mike Trout's good. I know we have all these other awesome players, but there's no player that anybody alive probably has ever seen. Fuck Babe Ruth. There's no player alive that anybody has ever seen in the history of baseball like Shohei Ohtani. He is.
Hell
I
no.
cannot wait till he wins a Cy Young and an MVP, a batting title. I hope to God, as a sports fan, I hope to God that he has one of those seasons and the rest of his career stays healthy and keeps going on this trajectory and wins another couple MVPs. I also hope to God that the Angels make the playoffs. That'd be pretty awesome. Baseball.
Or how about they just trade him?
Please do it. Him and Trout, please. No, Trout, he's loyal. He'll stay. Otani's gonna get the keys to a team. That's gonna be his next contract. But he's unbelievable. He's got to be one of the top 5 athletes on the planet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be. And people are oh, it's baseball. No, it's baseball. It's the hardest sport to be the best at. And he does both better than most guys in the league, dude.
You know how bad that is? This man is making a joke of the whole league.
Bro, he's 6'5", 240.
Yes.
He's a fucking beast. It's yes. So I'm just so bummed that he's 28 years old and he's probably gonna have another 8, maybe 8 max really good seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't watch much of the baseball classic, the World Baseball Classic, but I watched enough of it to watch Ohtani, and I watched the US a couple times. But man, we're lucky that he's playing right now, and we're lucky that we're getting all these freak athletes, him, even Trout. But you look at Mahomes, we've seen LeBron's whole career and all that kind of stuff. Guys like Victor Wembanyama coming up that we'll be able to see. Yeah, shout out to Shohei Ohtani.
Shout out. So I'm gonna ask you a question, then I'm gonna go into mine for today. I texted you about it earlier, but which player would you want to see leave more in order to make them have a better career? Dame Dollar or Mike Trout?
Mike Trout. I think because there's so many superstars in the NBA. I know. I think I don't think Dame needs to go to another team. I don't think he needs to win. I think he's past that point. I think just keep getting those numbers. Just keep padding your stats. Does he need one? I don't think that'll do anything to his career. I think he's pretty solidified as where he is on the all-time list, rankings, whatever people want to do that, or where he is among the players today. I'm not gonna put him if he wins the title, I'm not gonna jump him over 20 other guys. He's pretty he's pretty sturdy. Trout though, I think people baseball people know how elite he is, and how good he is all the time. And people were talking about a couple years ago, he's one of the best players ever. But I think if he leaves, that helps baseball as a whole, and that helps the casual fans who don't know about Mike Trout.
A lot of people.
become more aware of how good he really is. So I would love to see him leave and go somewhere. Go to the Pirates, maybe. Shout out to the
That's
Pirates.
wishful thinking. But
Yeah.
my thing for today, it's not even a shout out. It's what do I have? So I was in the gym and I was watching
You ain't got shit,
the
bro.
McDonald's, huh?
You ain't got shit.
and I was watching the McDonald's All-American Slam Dunk Contest.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell? Listen, I am going to try to explain this to the average person.
You sent me something, but there was no was there supposed to be a video in there?
No, that was
Okay.
I remember to tell you right now because I was in the gym watching it, and one of the kids in the dunk contest dunked over Ronald McDonald and a kid in a wheelchair. In what way, shape, or form
No. Really?
do you think
Oh man.
that was the right thing to ever do? You jumped over both. Were you not thinking, so what the hell if this goes wrong? He's already in a wheelchair. What are you going to have happen to him next? Like, I don't understand why anybody would ever think, all right, you know what, this is the shit what we need to end up doing. And also, they had so many damn dunkers. I guess I was spoiled when I used to see like Zion Williamson in the McDonald's All-American Dunk Contest. They had Bronny in there, and you could definitely tell they thought he would have the bunnies that his dad had. It's not that way, which you guys need to realize. That's more so in Bryce's genes, not in Bronny's genes. But Bronny has $7.5 million in NIL deals, and that just shows you your dad can make moves happen for you. Like, you were born, and you just were going to be graced with money. And the NIL just said, all right, perfect. But that's all I have. I just wanted everyone out there to end up using that as some worthy watching for you to end up seeing that, yes, McDonald's definitely should be going damn near under if you're going to say, yes, let somebody jump over Ronald McDonald and a kid in a wheelchair.
Okay. I'm going to put myself on mute because I can't mute this video for some reason. Oh, wait, here we go. I need to watch this. This is the caption is ain't no way. Okay, first of all, I would have changed the channel because I don't like clowns, so I wouldn't even watch this live. Oh my god, I can't. I'm surprised I'm even watching this right now. I need to blur out Ronald McDonald. It's terrifying.
This is a good idea.
Like the kid's probably got some dreaded disease.
Yes,
I'm guessing he's part of the Ronald McDonald house.
Yes, because he was a judge.
Was he?
Yes.
That makes it even worse, probably.
I just think about what if, because there were someone else jumped over, like two people tried to like get the ball and dunk it, did not work. Another person tried to get the ball, dunk it, and he fell. And I'm like, what would have happened if my man fell
and crushed? And what if I wish it was just the kid in the wheelchair and not him and Ronald McDonald. I wish it was just a kid in the wheelchair and he tried to jump over him and then missed and like fell on the kid. Like,
you see what I'm saying?
Oh man, the possibilities of that are endless.
So
by the way, before we go, Lakers are up 70-55 right now in a must-win game. AD's got 18, LeBron's got 17. Shout out to Austin Reeves. He's gonna get, speaking of getting paid,
he's gonna get paid.
Speaking of getting paid, we thought Caruso was gonna get paid after he put up that big white boy performance over the couple of years. No, Austin Reeves is in the starting lineup.
Yes,
he's in the start. I mean, I think D'Angelo Russell is too. He's a 2 guard right now. My man is gonna get paid, bro. Sheesh. Yes. Good for him though. He's a plus 30 tonight.
And it's not gonna be from the Lakers because the Lakers don't got no goddamn money.
Oh no, they're saving all that for Bronny.
See what I'm saying? That's what they're gonna do. But anyways, with that, Lakers up 15. We'll catch you guys next time. We out.
Deuces.